Hi, VC. Been a little while. I haven't had time to make any videos for about a week. But Fred put up his Gimme 10 of 87 on Saturday, I think it was. So here goes. Um, Before I start, there are going to be more than one. There's going to be more than one video, but because I have 40 albums that I want to show from 1987. Yeah. Um, and because there's so many good albums released in '87, I don't know whether it'd be the same in '88 because there was some fantastic albums in '88 as well. Um, this was the hardest one so far to sort out the top 10. It could have been any one. I mean, records from any one of the 40 could have been in the top 10 at any particular point. Well, not all of them, but a lot of them. Just some brilliant records. So, without further ado, here's my Gimme 10 of 1987. This is what I've settled on as a top 10. Um, but as I said, it could be different on a different day. But here we go. Top album of the year is the first one I'm going to show. I just played this album to death. It is the Cult. It is electric. Um, I don't know how I can really talk about this one because this is probably the record I played most in my late teens and early 20s. For me, it is just the epitome of what I needed to hear at that point in time. It's a hard rocking motherfucking album. Um, Asprey had ditched basically his goth persona and became Wolfchild, which meant that he just drank shed loads, did shed loads of drugs, just went off his head, finally became a total native Canadian that he always wanted to be, and just went absolutely apeshit. But along the way, they took influence. I think they took massive influence from AC/DC, especially sort of Bon Scott era, early AC/DC. Um, and some of the songs on here do, I think, they rip off High Voltage wholesale, really do. But I still love this record to absolute pieces. It is just an incredible record. Um, it's one of those records where at certain points in your life, you hear records that just encapsulate everything you want from an album. And this was 1987. It was just a phenomenal listen to me. I bought this copy on the day of release. I queued up at our price, waiting for them to come in. Got it then. It just meant so much to me, this album. I can't explain how much. Just fantastic. Um, Next up, another rock record. Out and out rock record. Ooh, I'm just changing the order around a bit because I've just realised I want them in a different order. Another out and out rock record. It's Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction with the original cover. This has got to go in. It's an absolute classic debut album. It's it's just an answer to all the hair metal that both this band and Metallica kind of killed off hair metal. Although you might argue that this lot were bit hair metal, they weren't. Their punk rock attitude taken to glam metal, and it came out at basically GNR. Just couldn't give a shit, really. Really couldn't. And every song on here is a classic. From Welcome to the Jungle, I mean, It's So Easy, Night Train, Out to Get Me, Mr. Brownstone, Paradise City, which is probably the most overplayed, but there's a lot of these get played all the time. My Michelle of Love, Think About You, Sweet Child of Mine, You're Crazy, Anything Goes, Rocket Queen. I mean, I know this record inside out, and I think it is an absolute stone cold classic. Anybody disagrees with that, well, they're entitled to their opinion, but I don't agree. I think it's brilliant. Total change of atmosphere for this one. It's the second Half Man Half Biscuit. Had to include this just because of the song titles, if anything. It's got one of my all-time favourite songs, Dickie Davies' Eyes, on it, which is just brilliant. And it's got a remix of the Trumpton Riots, which is just brilliant as well. But it's got some absolutely unbelievable time. Rod Hull is alive. Why? The Bastard Son of Dean Friedman. I was a teenage armchair homebed fan. All I Want for Christmas is a Dukla Praga Wake It, which is all about Subbuteo. It's just absolutely hilarious. This just encapsulates anybody who grew up in the 70s and early 80s. It just sums things up. It's just absolutely brilliant. I absolutely love this. So fun. I still laugh out loud at some of this. Just absolutely brilliant. Back in the DHSS again. Next up, this is where I get my YouTube name from. Grebo. Got the first of the Grebo albums. I've got Box Frenzy by Populate Itself. This was their debut album. I probably could have included, really it's kind of a mini LP, but the Poppycock, Poppy's Play Five-A-Side, was their mini LP, which had Oh Grebo, I Think I Love You. No, it didn't. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Oh Grebo, I Think I Love You was on that. And things like There's a Psychopath in My Suit. But this one is actually less Grebo, to be honest. It's less that scuzzy rock. And they've started to incorporate, obviously they've been listening to the Beasties, because alongside the guitars they've started to incorporate like hip-hop influences. I think they're also listening to Justified Ancients and Moo Moo's 1987, which would have been, if I had a copy, if I had a copy of 1987, What the Fuck's Going On by Justified Ancients and Moo Moo, I would just be laughing all the way to the bank, to be honest. But if I had that, that would definitely be in my top 10, because that was a groundbreaking album. But they've taken elements of that on this record, and they're starting to up the hip-hop. So you've got things like Grebo Guru, Beaver Patrol is great. You've still got sort of typical Grebo-ish stuff like Inside You, but then you've got things like There Is No Love Between Us Anymore, She's Surreal. Their re-recording of Love Missile F-111, which was more hip-hoppy type thing, hit the high-tech groove, so they started really rolling out, and I think this is a great British album, unjustly overlooked. It should be an absolute classic album, one of those classic albums. Brilliant album. And then back with sort of the more noisy, scuzzy side of Grebo is Gay Bikers on Acid, Drill Your Own Hole. Fantastic record, just a fantastic record. They were in cahoots with the Mutoid Waste Company or something, who, one of these things that used to make things out of all scrap and stuff, make really twisted, contorted sculptures, and they used to go and put them on stage with them. I just opened that thing because that's got stuck. Mary was the lead singer, who later recorded with Apollo 440, and did things with them. But this is great scuzz rock. Motivate, Call Me a Liar, All Hung Up, World War 7 Blues, Zen Express. I just know this so well. TV Cabbage, just great scuzz, brilliant. Next one. I ended up looking like the lead singer of this record for so long. I had a bob and a blooming polka dot shirt. It is the debut album by Primal Scream. It is Sonic Flower Groove. I looked like that for a long time. Eventually I grew it out and I ended up looking like Asprey a bit, or Axl Rose, depends on people's opinion. But this is just terrific, sort of mid-60s jangly pop. I remember I saw I got a 7-inch Gentle Tuesday first, but it's just gorgeous. Silent Spring, Imperial, which I remember seeing on TV on some Scottish show. We Go Down Slowly Rising, totally retro, totally I've forgotten the word. Oh, I can't remember what I was going to say then. Not divine. Oh, anyway, whatever it is, not divine at all. But just a great record, and I played this over and over again. I still dig this out. Just absolutely love it. not released on Creation. This was released on Elevation, which was a label run by kind of run by Creation, but put out by WEA. I think they only put 2 records out, and one was this one, and one was The Weather Prophets, which I've only got on tape, but that's a cracking album as well. So there we go, Sonic Flower Groove, Primal Scream. The next one, this was actually, I know they're much more well known now, but this was actually a blind buy for me. I'd never heard of them. Got it for £1 in HMV in Oxford Street, and it's Red Cross Neurotica. I just bought this solely for the cover. I thought, oh, look at that lot. They look cool. Got to get it. And when I put it on my turntable at home, I was absolutely delighted. It is brilliant, 60s type, fuzzy, poppy brilliance. I just love it. From Neurotica, the song, through Play My Song, Frosted Flake, Love Is You is so pretty, Peach Kelly Pop, Ballad of a Love Doll, Beautiful Bye Byes, just absolutely lovely. And this was before Red Cross really made it big in sort of about 1990-ish. I think Third Mind and what's the album after that? Phase Shifter. They sort of rode on grunge's coattails a bit, but this was pre-grunge. This was just fantastic. What a brilliant, brilliant album. Had to include this. And it's unjust. I think this is completely underrated. I see reviews of this all the time saying, oh, it's the worst Smiths album. It isn't. I actually like it probably more than Queen is Dead. I think Queen is Dead is vastly overrated. It's not the end-all and be-all of the Smiths. Strange Ways, Here We Come. There are some quintessential Smith songs on here. I'm sorry, but what the hell are people saying? Oh, this is worth this one album. What bollocks. From Rush and a Push and The Land Is Ours, which is fantastic. I started as something I couldn't finish. I mean, it's just hilarious. Death of a Disco Dancer. Girlfriend in a Coma, typical Smiths. Stop Me If You Think You've Heard This One Before. Could not get that out of my head for years. Last Night I Dreamt That Somebody Loved Me, the ultimate suicide song. I mean, that's just justly regarded as an absolute classic. Unhappy Birthday, Paint a Vulgar Picture. I mean, if it foresaw the utter rape of the Smiths' reputation by WEA or whoever, Warner's or whoever, reissued everything. Reissue, repackage, tacky badge, I can't remember the lyrics now. It's been a little while. Where is it? Oh, there. Reissue, repackage, reevaluate the songs, double pack with a photograph, extra track, and a tacky badge. Entirely what's wrong with the record industry now. Absolute shite. Right. Brilliant album, though. More noise now. Oh, this is noise. This is just glorious. Locust Abortion Technician, Butthole Surfers. Just, what were this lot? Well, I know they were on Shed Loads of Bloody Acid and God knows whatever they could get their hands on. Gibby Haynes, what a nutcase, fruitcase. This is just inspired lunacy, this is. From Sweat Loaf, which is a reimagining of Sweet Leaf by Sabbath, through to, you got things like Graveyards on here, you've got 22 going on 23, which is just phenomenal. USSA, you've got, what else is on here? Hey, brilliant track. Cunts, which is a track by a Thai singer, I can't remember his name off the top, with his head with just distortion on, and it's when Gibby first uses his machines that make really odd noises, which just totally distort human voice. Personally, I don't think this is as good as the album they released the next year, but this is just such a brilliant album. There we go. And just to round it off, this probably wouldn't make hardly anybody's Gimme 10, But to me, I just think it is such a rocking, rolling, joyous record. I love this. People slate this one as well, saying it's lumpen and the performances are rubbish and bog off. Right, this is Flaming Groovies, One Night Stand. Now I think they've been touring anyway, but it's some kind of reunion going on in about '86. I've heard different things, that it's a fake live album or that it was actually a live album mixed the next night. But I think this rocks. I think this rocks. It's just got Cyril, two of the members, Cyril and George Alexander from the original lineup with new guitarist and drummer. Recorded in August '86 in Sydney. It's got a few of the Groovies classic on it. It's got Slow Death, Teenage Head, Slow Down, Shake Some Action. Not Slow Down. Slow Down is an old rock and roll song. But it's got things like Kicks, Bittersweet, Call Me Lightning. I just think it's rocking, and it really fitted in with the way what I wanted to listen to, sort of in that time. It's kind of like nuggety. You get what I mean? Just great. Love it. Just love it. So there we go. That is my Gimme 10 from 1987. There is more to come, and I'll get those up and running. So anyway, thanks for hearing me waffle on about these records, and I'll see you all soon. Bye, BC.